So this story is crazy, man. And oh man, I feel bad for this brother, but at the same time, hey, when you're doing the crime, anything can happen to you, right?
Well, that's about crime. You know what I mean? No, that's about crime, man. Sometimes, you go in there, it don't always work out like you want it to, Alex.
Yeah, and we often want to judge people who are out there robbing, stealing, thugging, but we also don't know what his line of life was. We don't know where he came from. We don't know what his conditions are. But I'm talking about a brother named Eric Eugene Washington. Now, Eric Eugene Washington, he decided that he was going to run up in a restaurant and rob all the patrons there that were having lunch or dinner or breakfast. I don't know what time of the day it was. But there was a bro, well, not a bro, it was a white guy in there that was strapped.
No doubt.
And this guy, and like many of us who sometimes have our straps on us, we're prepared to react to situations like this. And this white guy actually, he made Eric Eugene Washington's robbery his last robbery.
No doubt. He came to the restaurant, man. He robbed everybody in there, including the guy who shot him. After he robbed everybody, he walked out, and guy had a gun, man, and took it to him.
Yeah, man. It's an unfortunate situation, and there's a video clip of this, and I'm gonna put a link to the video clip of what happened inside that restaurant. But you can see that even the guy that shot him, and we don't know who he is because he left.
He left. He got on.
He left.
Hey, not to mention, did he just leave? He didn't just leave, though. He got everybody money back the dude robbed him for. Gave everybody their money and their shit back before he left. You know what I mean? And they don't have an ID on him. They seen his truck in the parking lot. They don't have a license plate. They would like for him to come in and discuss it, but the way the news is making it sound and the way that attorneys that's, just checking the case out, hey, man, they don't think he'll get convicted.
Nah, and this is out of Texas also. So, Texas is one of those very pro-gun states. It's one of those states that pretty much, lives for stuff like this,
Not to mention the dude was a white guy who shot him. So, you know what I mean? That's going to play a part in it. You're going to have an all-white jury probably if you go to trial. Not just, like I say, not just... trying to be funny or nothing like that, but that's just how it is sometimes.
All right, I want to play this clip from the news out there in Texas on this story of Eric Eugene Washington, who was attempting to rob this restaurant. Here he goes.
I'm Caroline Collins with this week's Crime Files, and this week it's all about a taqueria robbery that has the nation talking. The video is insane to watch, but the story of what happened next, even more shocking. So it all starts with a masked man with a gun and ends with an armed customer jumping into action. As the case has unfolded, we found out a lot about all the people involved, even hearing from the mom of the robber as she talks about the life he lived. We start our days of coverage with Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf.
It's back to work now for everyone in this restaurant, but we're now learning more about the terrifying night for everyone inside. Dramatic moments inside a Houston restaurant. We've frozen the graphic video as a customer fires 8 shots and then one more, killing a would-be robber.
Thank God no one else was hurt.
A man wearing a mask and gloves inside the taqueria around 11:30 Thursday night, pointing what looks like a gun at customers while demanding money. As some hide and throw cash, this man takes action just as the robber heads to the door, still with his gun drawn.
Picked up the money, turned around and left, and that's when the customer got up and shot him.
The shooter angry, realizing the robber's gun is plastic. Returning the stolen money to customers, taking a sip of his drink, and leaving before police arrive.
He needs to call HPD homicide and come explain exactly what occurred and his side of the story.
Authorities now wanting to speak with this man seen getting into an old pickup truck, someone the restaurant owner is calling a hero.
Just thankful for the man who helped me, and I just want him to take care of himself.
Okay, man, there's no way that this guy's going to prison for killing this robber, huh?
No doubt, but at the same time, Alex, you can't just be robbing motherfuckers either, man. I mean, somebody gonna do something Sometimes, it's two ways I look at it. You went in there, bro, with a fake gun, man. You robbed people, but dude shot him 9 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shots, man. I don't think it took 9 bullets to get him down, and subdue him, but
Yeah, but if you think this guy got a real gun in his hand and you shoot him 2 times, he could still turn around and bust.
No doubt. That's why I say you're gonna hit him 4, 5 times. If you look and you're gonna see what the actions he take. But I get it. But at the same time, man, I'm looking at it like this for the people out there that is robbing. Because just because we don't do it, that don't mean people not. That's what I need our listeners to understand. Just because we not into something don't mean that life's not going on out there. So for the people that is robbing out there, bro, it ain't always just a cakewalk. Sometimes you're going to run into some resistance, and this dude ran into some resistance, lost his life, paid the ultimate price. And I know people going, bash me for this one. I don't care, but he lost his life for some crumbs, man.
Yeah.
Went in there for some crumbs, Alex, and you didn't go to no high power robbery. I don't think none of it's worth your life, but man, what are you going to get out of a Waffle House, out of a Denny's, out of a, IHOP? What is you going to get, bro? So people don't even carry cash like that on them no more. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and you lost your life behind it, man. Like I said, we don't know the details of his life, but it's tragic that, he has life no more.
Yeah, man. Eric Eugene Washington was 30 years old. This happened in the great city of Houston. And it's just tragic. Now, the mom of Eric Eugene Washington, she's pissed. She said what you kind of said. Why did the man have to shoot my son 9 times? Just shoot him a couple times and put him down. But I don't think that's really realistic. I mean, if you have a gun in your hand, at that point, anything goes.
No doubt, and I would have dumped on him too. I can't say I wouldn't have, but this is the thing. This is the situation. I'm in California as well. It's a no-win situation in California when you shoot a man in the back. Unfortunately, the way these laws are set up in California, man, it's almost like it's more laws for the criminal than it is for the man that's not one. Because if somebody break into your house and you wake up and they're in your house, if they running out and you shoot them in the back, bro, they gonna hold you accountable for that. So I can't protect my home. Oh no, he was running out. You got to shoot him in the chest. He got to be trying to harm you in order for you to shoot him. That's some bullshit. You know what I mean? As long as y'all should be able to prove that my door was kicked in or my window was broken and they got in, it should be enough for me to knock him down in my house. So, but that's Texas. Texas don't have them same kind of laws. Texas have self-defense laws that, and this man definitely could fall under the self-defense category, but like I said, just tragic that this dude had to lose his life over a fake gun and a petty robbery.
Yeah, I think that if you did this in California exactly the same way, I don't think you'll get charged.
Shit.
I know that some of the prosecutors here are a little bit more aggressive when it comes to gun violence, but I mean, your argument is this guy had a gun, this guy was robbing people. I was here with my family. I tried to pull it out earlier when he first walked in, but then he turned around and I waited till an opportunity to pull it out. And the best time to pull it out is when his back was facing me. And I had to save my life, whoever was with him in that booth, and the patrons in the restaurant. How are you going to lose that argument?
All day long, Alex, because what they're going to say, bro, is he was fleeing the situation, So
he was fleeing the situation, but he could have went out in the parking lot and robbed more people.
No, he could have, but I'm telling you, man, California, you don't get me wrong, case law as well, you know what I mean? But I'm going to sit here and argue with you all night and say that they're going to say that this guy was fleeing a situation. There was no reason for him to be shot in the back. No reason for you to shoot this man. You should have let him go at the robbery and let the police deal with the robbery. Man, that's the bullshit they going to tell us, But then again, it all depends. If you saying, I noticed what you said. You said the exact same situation. It may happen like that in the exact same situation where the shooter is one person or one color and the robber is another one. You know what I mean? Because let's man, and I hate to go race. You know what I mean? But if the robber was white and the shooter was black, I can't say down in Texas, but in California, bro, you're gonna have a situation on your hands. Whether you get out of it or not, you're gonna have a situation on your hands, man.
Yeah, I agree. California prosecutors are more aggressive, and I'd love to tap in with maybe maybe a former DA who might want to chime in on this.
Yeah, please do.
I'd love to know, would Jackie Lacey prosecute this man? Would Gil Garcetti prosecute this man? Would John McKinney? John McKinney might possibly be running for a district attorney later this year. Would he prosecute this man? According to FG, all of these LA prosecutors are charging this man,
Charging this man. But if we can get a feedback, any kind, we appreciate that.
Well, the guy that got killed, Eric Eugene Washington, according to records in the state of Texas in 2015, he was convicted of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, and he was sentenced to 15 years in connection to a shooting death of a business owner, a 62-year-old Hamid Warwick. If this happened in 2015, I don't know, how is he out already?
This is the robber.
Yeah, the robber.
Wow.
This is the robber had an extensive criminal history.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He has a aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, and he also has he was connected to a shooting death of a guy named Hamid Warwick, 62-year-old. This is according to Fox 26 News out in Houston. This is all preliminary information. So, even though this is coming off of a legitimate news website, they could be wrong. But, the mom is over here lobbying for her son. And the question is it really self-defense? ?
Well, this is the thing about it, man. With you giving me and arming me with that information that you just said.
No, but that information is irrelevant because when you're sitting in that booth, you don't know this guy just got out of prison for armed robbery. You don't know he's connected to a killing. So all of that stuff is just after the fact information we learn.
Well, once you go to trial is after the fact, the shooter. For him, once he's getting prosecuted, the prosecution comes after the fact. So with them knowing that this guy have this kind of extensive record and the death was linked to a crime that he committed, they may look at this dude as a person who cleaned up the streets, and they may not convict him. You feel what I mean? So all this certain shit plays a part, and how they judge these prosecutions.
But I think if that was to be tried in a California court, they would rule that information cannot come into the case because it's irrelevant. You know what I mean?
I got what you're saying. It might not come into a case as far as you have a jury trial, but I'm even talking about for them to even say if we're going to prosecute the case or not.
Because if you're the defense attorney for this man, you're going to say, we want to bring up this whole guy's record, right?
No doubt.
Yeah. The prosecution's going to say, Your Honor, this stuff is it's inadmissible.
Yeah.
It's inadmissible because this man never met this guy before, didn't know his criminal history. He shot him just because of what was happening in that store.
No, you got a point there. You got a point there, but at the same time, man, hey, look, like you said, if you can get somebody to tap in with their thoughts on how the judicial system might handle this in California, Los Angeles County, hey man, we appreciate that.
It says here that Washington served 7 years in prison, but was released on parole in December.
Oh, he just came.
He just got out. Yeah,
he learned his lesson.
So he's on parole. He was on parole when this whole thing went down.
This is the shit I was just talking about earlier about getting that second chance. Getting that chance to, come out and do something different, and he did the total opposite.
And it actually says he got arrested for domestic violence. He was charged with assaulting his common law wife, and he was out on bond for that. So,
yeah, he was gonna get it sooner or later. If
he's active.
With that behavior, he was gonna run into a situation.
Now, if you're the man in that truck, what do? And you're watching this on TV. You're like, oh shit, they got me on TV. What do you do?
Shit, they ain't got my plates, man. Nobody can identify me where I was at by name. I don't know, man. They might just have to find me, bro.
They probably got his name by now.
Well, just the thing about it, when he picked up that dude gun and threw it, his fingerprints can be on that gun. His fingerprints can be, like you said, on a coffee mug, on a plate, on a fork. So by now they probably got his whole name. By now they probably already been to his little house and everything. But with all that, all he got to say, man, is he was, hey, man, he was scared to come forward, because after even he realized that it was a fake gun, man, you could see he was pissed.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was pissed. So that goes to show that, man, it really kind of goes to show like he has some compassion. Like, damn, I killed the guy with a fake gun.
Yeah.
So that could play a part in his defense, But we definitely gonna keep an eye on this case, man. And but I just think in California they still will prosecute him.
I bet you this man is in his living room right now, smoking a cigarette, watching himself on TV saying, I ain't going nowhere.
Shit.
And he's just chilling.
Hey.
Here's a quote from his mom. I don't hate him, referring to the shooter. We don't know who he is. He's unidentified. I don't hate him. I can't hate him, but I want to know why. Why didn't you just stop? And I guess she's referring to the 9 shots.
Right.
I understand. Mom is gonna feel the way she's gonna feel. There's nothing you can say to her.
Yeah, but people also know their kids, man. You know, she knew he was active. You know, she knew he was what he was about. You know, she probably prayed every night that he was watched over and something like this didn't happen to him. But at the end of the day, man, I think even some people, when it does, you know, the pain ain't going nowhere. But the understanding that my son was active is still there, you know.
Listen to this last quote by the mom. She says, if you had to kill him, I can deal with that. I can come to grips with that. He did something wrong. I understand that. But for him to be shot 4 times in the back leaving, and when he falls down, he shoots him 4 more times, you abused him. He was dead already, and that hurt, and that hurts.
Well, check this out. I got a homie named Bandit for Cross Atlantic. Bandit was at the same gas station that Buntry got killed at. So Bandit had a situation where some dudes rolled up on him and jumped out on him. You know what I mean? Where you from? You know, Bandit told him to cross Atlantic. They pulled out the gun and blasted him. Bandit took the gun from him, wrestled on the ground, took the gun from him, shot dude in the head. Shot dude again in the head. And so they gave Bandit, I think Bandit got like 7-8 years for that. So Bandit says he was on parole, but Bandit say, hold on, this self-defense. The video shows, they had the whole video from the same Shell gas station. Like I say, Buntry got killed. That's why they closed that Shell gas station actually too. Too many people was getting killed right there. So Bandit like, hold on, man. This dude shot me. We wrestled for this self-defense. They said if you would have shot him once, it would have been self-defense. But when you shot him the second time, it was overkill. And they gave him like 8 years for that, man.
Man, that's crazy. Is he home now?
Yeah, matter of fact, Bandit then went back, became home. He just got back. Bandit active still. Just talked to him today. You know, he's trying to get a job and things of that nature. But yeah, that happened to him because of this overkill. So just what you said, my whole point is just what you said. That's what the prosecutors will come with, the same thing. You didn't just kill him, you overkilled him. You know, and it is a difference, Alex. It do play a small, I can't say how much of a role, but sometimes that overkill do play a role.
Yeah, but I don't understand how that can become part of the legal process. If the man is dead, he's dead. If I shot him 4 times, he's dead. 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Does it really matter?
I agree with
dead.
you. I agree with you.
So why does that come into the legal process now? Oh, if you would have just shot him 4 times, we wouldn't charge you. But you shot him 8 times, you're going to prison.
No doubt.
He's dead regardless.
Yeah.
So why punish me?
Yeah, you got a point.
And even your boy shouldn't have did a day in prison for that.
Shouldn't have.
It was their gun, right?
Yeah, it was their gun. And I'm thinking, and there's sometimes where you can't afford that high power attorney. You know what I mean? You don't have certain elements that go in there and fight for you. You know, you working with the public defender's office. Not saying that they can't do a great job, but at the same time, you know, if that real attorney, you know, sometimes plays a part. They might have, could have got that, but he took the 8. They forced it down his throat, actually, you know. But he had to ride with it, bro, and he went and did it.
Well, if he would have did that in Texas, they probably wouldn't even trip.
No doubt. That's what, you know, I say California, a different beast than Texas.
And also, people don't understand, especially these prosecutors, these judges, they don't understand when you're in a gunfight, you're not sitting there counting bullets.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Damn sure late.
You're not sitting. You're not figuring out, is he still alive or is he dead yet?
No
Can
doubt.
I still shoot now or do I gotta stop?
No, you definitely not.
None of this is normal.
No doubt.
But they expect that in a court of law in order to not go to prison.
They do because, you know, some of them, and the police know this, you know, but some say, like you say, the DAs or prosecutors, you know, they come from behind the books. They come from behind the court bench. They come from behind the, you know, so they're not out there in the field understanding how before you know it, the clip was empty, or before you know it, your revolver, your fucking clip was empty. You didn't have no more bullets. You didn't realize you shot how many times, you know, so you're absolutely 100% on that one.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Well, I don't think this guy in Texas is going to get charged, but we're going to tap back in with you guys to let you know if it does happen. I'm sure by now they have him identified, and we might have his name next week. That's unfortunate, man. Rest in peace to Eric Eugene Washington. But you was active out there, and even the mom's quote even kind of said, yeah, he was doing stuff wrong. So she understood to a certain degree.
Thanks for checking out this short clip of the Streets and Scholars podcast with Alex Alonso and FG. If you want to check out the entire episode, visit your favorite podcast platform. We could be found on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, and iHeart. Just tap in on your cell phone, tablet, computer, or your favorite device, and guaranteed to get at least an hour of this fire content. And thanks for checking out another episode of Streets and Scholars.